very much for joining me here today for this session. It feels very strange to be doing this in a COVID world and not being able to see your lovely faces. But we will press on with the technology, and I'd like to share with you why we're here today. Under Decision Inc. Australia. So I have a presentation to take you through and to explain why we're doing that. In terms of an agenda, I'm going to talk to you about why we are rebranding, what is happening in our market that's led us to this point, how have and are we continuing to transform, what's in it for me from a client's perspective, and what's a good takeaway from today. So why are we rebranding? Well, we're doing this because for more than just a name change. ABM was founded back in 1997 with a focus on global leading management practices and technologies to drive better business outcomes. And we were very much centred on problem solving and using a collaborative coaching oriented skills transfer approach that we call STAR around three lines of business. So financial management, business improvement, and business intelligence. And we did that for a very long time and have been doing that for a very long time. And then in 2016, we started collaborating with Decision Inc. Group and a little bit later merged with Satsumas. And then in 2017, we joined formally the Decision Inc. Group. So we're now 3 years into our own fairly substantial transformation journey to a fully-fledged digital technology platform consulting business. I'll explain what that means in this presentation. Essentially, we've been evolving to align with a global go-to-market strategy that's part of the Decision Inc. Group. And essentially, that strategy is a client-centric service approach to enable for digital transformation. So it's wholly consistent with where we've always been as a business, to the extent that it's about enabling digital transformation around modern technologies which are quick and easy to adopt. So our interest is still very much around accelerated technology implementation and adoption. We're very much centred on enabling our clients to grow and to improve their service levels and their financial performance, and very much on ROI. It's a part of our culture to measure that for each engagement that we're doing. So really, rather than talk about rebrand as a name change, the reason we're doing this is because it's really about being able to reimagine our digital future. We've been reimagining our digital future. We continue to do so, and I want to be able to help you as clients to do that as well. So this is happening for a reason, and that is, I guess, defined in some of the literature as the fourth industrial revolution. So we're at a stage now, COVID or otherwise, where the world has never changed faster than it is changing today, and it will never be this slow again. So for those of you interested in why it's called the fourth industrial revolution, I've got a history of gravestones here going back to steam and mass production and computing. But we're fully in the midst of a fundamental technological revolution that's disrupting and transforming businesses across the entire world, across all industries. And many of us are fixated on how do we transform digitally and how do we remodel to make money in this new digital economy. This term, the fourth industrial revolution, was coined by a fellow called Clarke, who was working for the World Economic Forum, and it's essentially about the bridging of technologies across different domains, so hardware, software, biology, i.e. something cyber physical systems, which sounds a little bit Arnold Schwarzenegger, I guess, and all of the connectivity in between. So there've been breakthroughs in robotics and AI and nanotechnology, and continue to be in quantum computing and 5G and additive or 3D printing and fully autonomous vehicles and IoT and so on. So this is what is at the heart of the change that we're experiencing. Our specific interest comes about, and is summarised here. These are some surveys from Gartner. So the chart on the upper left is talking about the top 5 strategic business priorities for CEOs over the last couple of years. And as you can see, whilst there's been some change in the percentages over the couple of years, most CEOs are predominantly concerned with how they handle digital transformation. It is number 1 priority. How they are able to innovate with technologies, how they're able to improve and integrate technologies, how they can use information and analytics and big data, automate business processes. And someone goes through the first few, through the others there. And I know even going down to the e-commerce and omni-channel sort of capabilities, that's sort of diminishing from 8% to 4%. I suspect now in the COVID world that we're living in, that's swung around considerably again as everybody's raced to try and deal at a much more accelerated pace. So despite COVID, we are not discontinuing this journey. In fact, it may well be accelerating exponentially. The other charts that are on the page there are talking about how often CEOs are dropping the word tech and digital into their conversations. So this is a long-term trend that's been going on for well over 8 years. And money is going to where the mouth is. The top investments shown in this chart on the bottom right here showing that there is substantial increases in investment into these spaces. It's not the same for all industries though. These couple of charts talk about different industries evolving at different paces. The chart on the left is talking about industries with insurance at the top there. And you can see having no digital sort of footprint at all, being very low, 2%. That's the same for most of the industries. There is ambition for some of the industries. Some are in design phases, some are in delivery phases. The ones that are in scaling and refining though, are the ones that are really accelerating through digital transformation. You can see insurance is at the top of the list there, followed by financial services and government rounding out the top 3. The chart over on the right is talking really to how that's internally focused versus externally focused. And this chart summarises the amount of revenue that enterprises are deriving through digital channels. So basically, this is the x-axis here is the y-axis here is looking at the revenue, and you can see that we're basically under 30% across all industries there, so it's still fairly low. Whereas here we're talking about internal business processes that have been automated. So we're still only in the 30 to 40% range of internal processes that have been automated, with government at the forefront of doing automation. And those of us who live in New South Wales are seeing that frequently from New South Wales government, I think, including our digital licence and the use of cameras on roads these days for mobile phone detection and so on. So where do we come into this? Well, we're very interested in helping our clients change, and we know that the top 5 challenges that boards are concerned with once again around digital and technological disruption, along with, interestingly, talent acquisition, development and retention to be able to absorb that. They're also very focused on political, economic and regulatory requirements and how they make money out of those sorts of things. So we're very interested as a client service centric business to understand where you fit in that, and we know from some survey work that we've undertaken already, and we'll be undertaking substantially more survey work, and we're looking to have direct face-to-face conversations with you about whether or not you see complete disruption to your industry, substantial disruption, or only moderate disruption to your industry. And most importantly, how do you believe that your business is going to be impacted by this, and how ready do you feel that you are, both in a technological sense and in a capability sense, to be able to leverage this digital opportunity that is presenting and evolving on a daily basis. So now I'll talk a little bit about Decision Inc. Globally. So Decision Inc. is a global group that's focused on reimagining and designing digital futures. The blue diagrams there represent a mapping of client head offices that we have around the world, and so you can see it's spanning most of the globe. and our offices are sort of based down the bottom there. So we're able to leverage knowledge and IP across a much larger domain than we've been able to do previously. So in terms of client base, we're dealing with 500 clients around the globe across a range of industries listed down here on the left. And some of you will see perhaps your own logos on this page, and you'll also see other very well-known logos from around the globe that we're dealing with. So essentially, our go-to-market, the strategy that I've spoken about there, has two core themes to it. So theme number one is about the intelligent enterprise. So the intelligent enterprise is really about putting data at the heart of decision making. So we think that fact-based business is better. So that we want clients to be able to have intelligent information available in real time, available to all people, so that they can execute well in doing their work. And secondly, we think that this requires evolutions in the workplace. So the modern workplace is really about rethinking how people receive information, how they're able to utilise that to serve clients, and give clients a very responsive customer journey through their enterprise. So underpinning that is essentially the information value chain. So that's how our clients source and create data, how they move it, transform it, enrich it, engage with it, report on it, and evolve their strategies. So those themes are at the heart of our service model, and this is a very complex slide, and there's a lot to take in on it. And I'm going to show you places to go where you can dwell to your heart's content on this, but there are essentially 7 themes to how we're servicing clients here, and I'll rotate reasonably quickly through those 7 themes. So the first one is about harnessing the power of data. So harnessing the power of data to us is about how clients are able to leverage modern data platforms, how they're able to put in place good robust enterprise data management, data governance frameworks, and utilising modern analytics and business intelligence technologies, including AI and advanced analytics. You'll notice the acronym up there, which is Data Analytics as a Service, how we're able to help you evolve quickly through that. So it's not a very long journey, and it's more an accelerated journey. And I'll talk a little bit about that further down. Secondly, it's about how you're transforming the customer journey. And I'm going to show you where you can go and look at, videos and case studies and white papers and so on about how we're helping our clients to do that. One of the really interesting ones that I like, particularly, is in the mobility space here, which concerns an app, a mobile app that we've developed for a retail client that has 35,000 stock keeping units, and is designed to ensure that clients have a much stronger engagement with them, so that they are getting, it's essentially a loyalty app, so that they're getting notifications of things that are of interest to them based on their past buying patterns, and with specials and points and so on to help them to engage further. The third is around facilitating the journey to the cloud, whether it be in Azure or AWS or other cloud spaces, ensuring that there's good, robust security. We use multiple technologies to do that with clients. As they focus on their cloud transformation, we assist with managed services for clients. We assist with license management. The fourth one is around enabling better performance management and innovation through particularly the finance function for clients. So how do we lift our finance functions to a new level in terms of their ability to automate business processes, or to integrate better financial reporting from the board through to cost center managers. And then also at the fifth one there, looking about how we're facilitating better decision making, so be that in terms of faster consolidation and close processes through driver-based and rolling forecasting, through predictive modelling that's using AI and machine learning. Our sixth is around enabling for the modern workplace and better collaboration, through tools like Teams. I'm doing this presentation today through Teams, which is something that we've only really adopted ourselves here in the old ABM offices in the last few months, and certainly that migration has been vastly accelerated as a result of COVID. Yet we're also still in our own modern workplace using many other tools like WhatsApp or Zoom as the case needs. And then lastly, around how we're optimising for operations, and essentially that's things like robotic process automation, or I guess the Internet of Things, and integrating with things like assets. So that is our new go-to-service model under the decisioning rebrand. So it's pretty substantially much more than a name change for us. It's underpinned by a lot of technology. So some of you in this webinar know us for certain technologies on this slide and might not previously have connected us with other technologies. This is a selection of technologies. I was looking on our internal portal last night. We have about 130 technologies that we're dealing with across the group. These include ones, for instance, we just helped a client within the last few business days around being able to automate using something which previously was called Attunity, is now called QDI, into Kafka as a data source. That's billions of records of data. So we're also using much more frequently things like Data Robot to accelerate what we're doing in more advanced analytics cases, as well as Alteryx and Databricks and coding things in Python. For intelligent operations, we're using tools like Nintex and Automation Anywhere. I mentioned Teams, around Microsoft Dynamics 365, both for ERP and for CRM. And then we're also working with tools like SAP and Blackline and Workday Adaptive Planning, OneStream, and across multiple clouds, including we have projects that are running in Google Cloud as well at the moment. So the best way for you to learn more about what we're doing is to visit our website. We relaunched our website roughly about a week ago. So if you go to abmsystems.com, you will now be redirected here, and you'll see that our website looks very substantially different. We now have, obviously, some mentioning of the name change going on. There's a message from our Chief Operating Officer, Tim Rosser, there. And if you were to scroll down this page, which I tried to do as part of this webinar, I thought it was much more risky than actually showing you some screenshots in real time. So you'll see some more information on the digital transformation journey that I'm talking to you about. You'll see the ability to access collateral, including the case studies that are shown there. You'll see more drill down information on lines of business that we have, different technology partners that we're working with, and more collateral. That one at the top there on the right is around board reporting. So there's plenty of interesting pieces of collateral available that were never previously available to our clients. And then lastly, the drill downs on the toolbars. There's a lot to take into account there. So I just chose a screenshot there showing some of the out-of-the-box solutions that we have around things like CRM, around ERP, around data analytics, and the modern workplace. And so, they're accelerators that weren't previously known to you, our clients, that are now available to you. And there's many more than are listed at this stage. We're very busy underneath the surface trying to make sure that we've got more of it available to you. There are plenty of examples of our work to be looking at. You've got very up-to-date case studies like helping a global retailer transform through COVID to better respond. you'll see that there are different use cases across supply chains and across miners and across retail and across a range of different industries, including, for instance, our open data project with the New South Wales State Insurance Regulatory Authority would be showcased there as well, including a link to that, which is publicly available. Now, I'm very excited during this really challenging time that, for instance, we won a piece of work just prior to COVID, which was about being able to help New South Wales Parliament implement a better FP&A, and the consultant who was charged with the responsibility of leading that implementation was all of a sudden, he had a plan, an implementation plan, which was pre-COVID, and he then had to execute on it at the height of lockdown, and I'm in awe of his ability to be able to do that project on time to plan. He facilitated that using teams and running workshops involving many tens of people to ensure that there was good collaboration throughout the process. We pride ourselves on working very collaboratively with clients to bring them on the journey, and he delivered that implementation on time to plan the pre-COVID plan. So I think that was phenomenal. So I'd just like to drill down a little bit more on harnessing the power of data and what that means and now that we're part of the decisioning group for you, our clients, because really this has to be about what's in it for you. So I'd like to talk to you about that. Now, back to some of the data here. So this is a survey from Gartner last year, which is talking about the real challenge facing many enterprises is that despite very substantial ongoing continuous investment, most organisations are still struggling, or many are still struggling to continue to deliver real value from analytics. The top ranking things that the respondents are talking about as a problem were in order the challenges with technology infrastructure and or architecture to be able to deliver. The problem with solving for risk and for governance issues around security and ethics and privacy and data quality are the two standout ones, and the third one is around adding more agility and flexibility around those data and analytics initiatives, and fourthly, integrating multiple data sources. So fifthly, obtaining the skills and capabilities to deliver, and so on it goes. These are the very real concerns that are inhibiting value. So the key question that I have for you as clients is this a problem that you're experiencing? This seems to be a very widely spread and experienced problem. And what are your thoughts on being able to leverage the cloud for your future analytics investments? And how ready are you and how ready are your people in order to get an ROI on these? So we have an approach to being able to handle this. Our approach is centered around being able to engage with stakeholders to ensure that we're focused on the outcomes that are desired and required by stakeholders. So that includes obviously the executive team, but a broader range of stakeholders than that. So what are the key performance metrics that they're looking to move? How much are they wanting to move them by? How are core process owners accountable then around core process KPIs that ensure that there's cross-business collaboration on achieving those outcomes? And how do we get to the data and the metrics that are really important for enabling those? And is there a role for information stewards to assure data quality, so that there is an alignment back to bottom line results for that data quality? So in the past, this used to be an easier thing to some extent because, BI as a subset of data and analytics was centered around the known space, i.e., it's a foundational or core capability of any modern BI technology and even legacy ones that they're able to solve for known questions and they're able to solve for known data. But increasingly we have a lot of unknown data, the volume of data that we're wanting to be able to use and that is coming, at us is increasing at an exponential rate. And how do we integrate that into what our analytics are in real time? And then also too, we want to solve for unknown questions and how do we allow for essentially self-service in being able to solve for the question as it's determined, rather than sending it back to somebody to try and design a solution around a specific question. So the space that we're seeking to live around is in the innovation and exploration space. And of course, this means that organisations have to derive an organisational capability. This is essentially about the way in which organisations are evolving from a fairly basic capability around reporting and business intelligence dashboards through to analytics, which is fairly basic and about the past, and which has evolved from local team use through to functional use to enterprise use. And most organisations are at this stage here now. And they're trying to race through further waves of advanced analytics, how we get predictive and prescriptive, how we are able to utilise data science, AI, machine learning, cognitive and contextual awareness sorts of things, how we're able to utilise augmented analytics that is pervasive, that and is around automation in not in some remote dashboard somewhere, but built into the way in which people are working. It's appearing in alerts, as SMSs to them. It's appearing in the apps that they're working in their CRM or in whatever other tool that they're using. So that's what we seek to be able to serve clients around. We have an ability to be able to help clients develop a comprehensive outcomes-based analytics program. We want to help clients unlocking the scale and potential of their full enterprise data model. And we want to help our clients unlock the analytics capability for their entire, organisation. And we can do that using our own internal platform capability, which has a very significant depth and breadth around specific use cases, which are industry focused, technology focused, and solution focused. So for you, the client, you can access a lot more stuff via our website. We have a portal which will progressively open up to clients, which gets you down into further levels of information around cases. So you'll be able to, view, specific use cases in the retail industry around demand planning, the problem that was addressed and the value that was created. There's another one around promotional effectiveness for a food manufacturer, a supply chain, data governance in banking. There is more than you could possibly imagine available to you. You will see, for instance, specific use cases around asset-based industries like mining, manufacturing and logistics enterprises, and how we've created solutions for being able to address things like plant maintenance and fleet optimization and warehouse performance, through to shift management and procurement management, and so on. So specific focus areas, specific case studies. And you'll see that for consumer-based industries like FMCG and entertainment, hospitality and media. So specific things around retail like customer propensity modelling, loyalty modelling, pricing, elasticity modelling, things like in-trade execution and channel management. I've mentioned about loyalty sort of stuff. And you'll see again specific case studies around those and other things like accelerators that you might be able to utilise. There's specific things in the financial services space as well, for specific people, including finance function and so on. So in terms of an approach to how we want to work with you as clients, we're interested in helping you develop a comprehensive outcomes-based analytics approach. The outcomes are around the metrics that your executive board, senior management want to achieve, and then what are the outputs that are required to achieve it. So this is a bit of a map which talks to the outputs that might underpin the outcomes that your senior stakeholders are seeking, and how you then drill down through that through various pieces of technology, whether it's in terms of portals or workbenches or laboratory spaces, or whether or not you're using particular hubs, through to the roles of individuals and how they are meant to engage. How are we reskilling them? How are we engaging them in forums which they're finding sparking them and giving them insight and thinking about different directions that they can go, which is going to unlock potential for you as clients. Then how are they able to rapidly handle data in that space? And once again, who are the people that are assuring that data in that space? And whether or not you're utilising, not just structured tabular data, but also a lot of unstructured data and video and objects and things like that. So that is our go-to-market model. We're interested in being able to unlock the scale and potential in your enterprise data model, help you build a modern data platform, help you ensure that you're utilising enterprise robust data management capabilities, that you're able to move from traditional data warehousing into real-time streaming of data and into data lakes. Improve your capability, so moving from lower maturity levels to higher maturity levels, so you're moving from data readiness and cloud readiness through to value creation, and through insight leaders. And so we have specific approaches which are designed to help you through that. This is a screenshot talking about a framework for managing data, and in particular where it's critical to have very robust data security and governance. Through to different platforms. This is essentially the Microsoft platform for enabling for modern futures, and similarly there's great things in the AWS space. Oh, this is a very I didn't realise this one had a bit of a graphic. This one's talking about modern data platforms that we're working with, and the use of change data capture streaming was the example that I spoke about into Kafka for a client. So how we're able to deal with lots of different data sources through the ability to stream it, to replicate it, and to automate data lakes, and to catalog it into a range of different analytical applications, whether they're Tableau or Power BI or Clarke or others, and work with different AI and data science technologies. So we're not doing modern data analytics. We certainly are doing a lot in the modern data analytics space. We're very interested around being able to serve in the self-service sort of space, particularly around what we call data from the edge that's new. We're particularly interested in being able to work with AI and augmented intelligence. So how do we accelerate your data modelling and your time to insights? How are we accelerating what people are doing around collaboration and conversational analytics so that people can use their voice to be able to do queries and return results on the fly in their mobile device, through to beautiful and easy to interpret graphics that serve for alerting and automated reporting, even automated narrative writing we have going on in some clients. So that's it. I'm aware that I've given you quite a lot of PowerPoint to digest, and so now I want to go to what I think are some good key takeaways for you today from our session. So one is quite simply things that we're very happy to do for you for free as valued clients. So and those are those first 5 bullet points. So one, as a valued client of Decision Inc. Australia, I nearly said ABM, I'm getting used to the change, but as a valued client of Decision Inc. Australia, you know, we would love to do a health check for you, which is essentially about where are you currently at with particular technology, and you know, how well is it working, and you know, can you leverage immediate improvements to drive better value out of it. 360 reviews are a way in which we workshop with clients to essentially look at what you've been doing at the user interface level, and talk about what is new, and once again, what value you can derive from your existing investments. Innovation workshop for us is essentially a way of us engaging with senior management around what their objectives are and how they might be able to introduce innovation around the existing technology that they have in place. I mentioned about surveys earlier, and we will be looking to survey you both through automated forms essentially and directly. We're very much more interested. I've told you about our go-to-market, and it's great for me to be able to tell you about our go-to-market, but in a lot of ways I'd much rather hear it directly from you about the problem that you're trying to solve for. So you may well have problems that are nothing like I've shown on the screen, and we'd like to understand what your key priorities are so that we can ensure that we're skilling and resourcing for you. So that's very, very important to us. So your feedback is important. Some of you will have completed post-implementation surveys. We really value that feedback. You're always welcome to come directly to me with feedback about things that you liked and things that you didn't like and things that you're looking to change. Also too, it's very easy to ask us for a what's new session. We're very happy to do what's new sessions in things. It's pretty quick and easy for us to do those. And the last one I'll refer to is a particular methodology that we have, which we started working with probably 3 years ago now, which is the information audit. And essentially the information audit is a framework that we work through. We have certain audit activities, which are the ones that are listed on the left there, which are designed to look at technically the applications and systems that you have in place, how they support your business processes and the decision making, and the impacts that they have. And then essentially come out with a roadmap out of that to say, look, there are certain changes that you can make really rapidly for very low cost, and you can do that in the next quarter, versus there are prioritised changes that you might want to make over the next 12 months versus over the next 3 years or so. So that would be a suggestion to you, that may be something that would be a good takeaway from this session, to be able to think about a way of engaging with us to help leverage much more value for you in your digital transformation. So that's it for me. I know I set aside an hour, and I've tried to race through that as much as possible. No one likes death by PowerPoint. So really, I'd like to open the session now to some Q&A and see whether or not you've got any particular questions that you'd like to ask of me. I think I'm doing this via a chat window, so I'm trying to open that up. I'll give you a minute to think. Right, this is one of those situations where in a COVID world, I can't look at you and see you, which is one of those challenges. And one of you may have your hand up, but I cannot see that. So hopefully I haven't put you all to sleep, and hopefully I've shown you something that's of interest. And in fact piqued your interest, and hopefully I've given you a place to go to start to look at that. You're certainly welcome to pick up the phone and talk to me directly, and you're certainly welcome to contact me via email. The old emails will still get to me. Okay, I'm going to kind of assume that there aren't any questions, so I can't see any popping up on the screen. So if that's the case, then I'll thank you all very much for your time. I'll say cheerio. Cecilia will be in touch with a copy of the recording for both you and colleagues and others that aren't able to attend the session. So thank you very much for your time.